Or you'll remember we used to live stream on both Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and all these other sites all at the same time, and I'm kind of bringing that back a little bit. I'm trying to see about streaming on Twitch also, so I want to play around and see if it is in fact working. I think it is. We are live on YouTube, it looks like, so that's good. Everything's good there, and it looks like we're live on Twitch, so that's awesome. So if you're new here on Twitch, thanks for joining. If you're tuning in from YouTube, if you want to head on over to Twitch and you know, check that out as well, that'd be awesome. We're also on Periscope, so that's pretty cool. Although I don't have a way, I think, to bring up Periscope. Hold on, I'm gonna try, but let's see, Periscope. So, title of the video. If you're unfamiliar with what was going on, you may want to head on over to our Instagram account, H2O Plants on Instagram. Check that out. But there was a bit of an issue. Baby Nova, you know, our newborn daughter, wound up getting sick, and we were in the emergency room, or well, we had to be admitted to the hospital. Like, what was it? It was not last Friday, but the Friday before that. So 2 Fridays ago. Or no, I'm sorry. So 2 Fridays ago, we took her to the hospital. They ran some tests. They said, you know, they don't think it's that severe. They're going to have to wait until the test results come back, but to schedule a follow-up appointment for Monday, which we did. We went in Monday thinking, hey, everything's going to be fine, and it wasn't. So she was okay. Like, she was in some sort of danger, but nothing like that was going to be fatal. And why is Walter barking? I wonder if that... I don't think that's Kevin. Walter! Shut up! Oh my god. Walter! Freaking dog. Anyway, so we wound up getting the news on Monday that she was fighting a virus, or that a virus was detected in her system. And then we wound up having to go to the emergency room right away. Her being admitted into the hospital to get an IV treatment for at least a week, they said. Yeah. Yeah, he's quiet now. I don't know what he's barking at. I don't know. Nobody's here. Okay. Sorry, Margaret. Anyway, so yeah, so she had to be on an IV to get treatment for that, and so we were there for the last week. So that's why you haven't seen a video from us in a week, nor did we live stream last week. And I was going to upload a video from the hospital, but I didn't have enough energy after dealing with everything that we were dealing with. So, you know, that's why you haven't seen a video from us in over a week. Or, yeah, Tuesday was the last video, and yeah, so that's why it's been that way. But let's see. All right, so we are good on Twitch, good on YouTube. So good to see you back. Glad to hear Nova is okay and recovering. Yeah, so we wound up getting released from the hospital on Friday. We came home. She got the A-OK on Monday. Actually, yeah, it was Monday I got the call from the doctor. She said everything came back normal, but we're still going to follow up with her in 3 weeks to see, just to make sure. The reason being is Nova had partial facial paralysis, and that's how we discovered, you know, that she was doing something. Something wasn't right. So, you know, she's going to be fine. The facial paralysis is still there a little bit, not as bad as it was, but it's still there. And, you know, they said that that'll just take time. The technical term is called Bell's palsy, and it should go away in a couple weeks to possibly a couple months. It depends. Depends on how severe it got. It was just really hard to see her in the hospital like that. She's such a trooper. She outside of being poked and prodded by the doctor, she really wasn't fussy at all, which was so like it's so unbelievable because she got poked 7 times for an IV. She ripped out 2 of them. So the first time they poked her once, couldn't get it. The second time they got the IV, and then that was just the repeat thing. After she removed it the first time, then they had to redo it. They stuck her 3 times to try and get the second one, and then the last one, so it was just heartbreaking because she just that absolute just cry of what is happening to me, and not being able to do anything about it. It was heartbreaking. At the very last one, I was I cannot stomach to be in the room anymore when they did that. So I was after this one, hopefully she doesn't rip it out. I told him, I was tape up her whole arm, and they put a brace so she couldn't move her arm. Just tape it up. I don't care if it's going to be uncomfortable for her. I don't want her to having to be poked again. So they wrapped her up nice. And then what really sucks though is she had to actually get 2 lumbar punctures, or I'm just calling them spinal taps because that's what they are. They're sticking a needle in her spine. And so for an infant to have to go through that, we weren't allowed in the room, and I'm actually kind of glad because I don't know if I could have sat there and watched that. I'm glad that they made us leave the room for it. So it's tough, and unexpected only a month into parenthood. So she's a trooper though. She's doing much better. Outside of the facial paralysis though, she had no other symptoms. She was still eating, sleeping, everything normal. So that's why it was kind of snuck up on us. And she doesn't really cry that much, and you can't really notice it until she cries, because then her one eye stays open and her cheek doesn't quite move. But if she's just chilling, you can tell otherwise. So yeah, I'm just glad we caught it. She had to get an MRI too. I forgot about that. She had to get an MRI to make sure that it didn't enter her brain, because the type of virus that she had could be really it could have done more damage than what was caused. So we just got really lucky with that. She could have had permanent seizures, random seizures, and just all sorts of other problems. Luckily it was caught and treated in time. So the doctor, which was recommended to me by my sister because she actually worked for her at some point, said that I should take her in because we were just going to go to the pediatrics and see what they said first. But she was like, no, bring her into the specialist, because she had told her what's going on. And she said, yeah, no, you might want to bring her in. It might be something a bit more serious. So all in all, it worked out pretty good. We're back in the swing of things, and I see everybody saying, so glad to see you're back, and Nova's doing well. Thank you, Lisa. Glad to hear it. I hope everything keeps getting better. Seeing your baby sick is always hard. Yeah, that's a new one for me. Hector's always sick, which is Margaret's other son, but or her son, not her other son, her son, and I don't have that same bond with her with him, obviously, because he's not mine, but I still treat him as if he was mine. But that's the first time I'm seeing my child sick and unable to do anything. And it's just the most heartbreaking thing. It's like a catch-22. It's good in a way, but it's you can't even explain to her what's going on because she's not old enough to understand any of it. But at the same time, she's not old enough to remember any of it. So, she won't remember the pain. She won't remember being there. She won't remember any of it. Fortunately, something I got to live with. But, that comes with the territory of being a father, I guess. My boss actually told me when I went back to work, he said, if you weren't a man before that, you're definitely a man now, because seeing your kid in the hospital is it'll put hair on your chest right away. So kind of funny, but let's see. So yeah, she is okay. I see a bunch of people questioning. Nisi says, first of all, glad to see you, Justin. Been keeping y'all in my thoughts and prayers. Second, if you're not following H2O Plants on Instagram, you're missing out. Do it now. Thank you, Nisi, for linking that below. Greg Jones, what's going on? Greg Jones in the house, one of the founders of My Aquarium Box. Welcome home, buddy. Glad you're all at home. Much love. Thank you, Greg. I really appreciate it. There was so much outpouring of support, and I didn't want to. I almost didn't want to do anything around it. Like, I didn't want to tell anybody anything because it was just like, you know, I know people are going to be worried. People are going to be asking a million questions. But at the same time, because we're so active in social media in general, just, you know, not YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, it's all of them. You know, like, we're constantly posting on Instagram and Facebook, and we're uploading, you know, three videos a week to YouTube and a live stream, and like, if all of a sudden that just stops and nobody knows what's going on, they're all going to be like, are you dead or something? So, you know, I made the post on Instagram, and there was like just hundreds of people reaching out and with tremendous support. And, you know, I really appreciate everybody. You know, if I missed your message or anything like that, or, you know, I couldn't respond to every comment, but thank you. You know, thank you all for the support. It really means a lot. You know, she felt it, I'm sure. So, with that said, that was the first 15 minutes of the live stream. Let's get into some, I don't know, aquarium-related topics. Does anybody have any questions or comments or things that they need help with? I see we got Kevin in the house, Brooklyn Hardscapes. He says he was at the NEC this weekend, and that's actually, it kind of sucked. I wanted to go to the NEC too, but obviously because of this, like, I wasn't planning on going, but I was like, I was wondering if I was going to possibly be able to sneak away, because I don't think it's that far of a drive. I think it's maybe like a 2-hour drive or something, so I was almost like tempted to go before Nova got sick. So once Nova got sick, that went right out the window. But yeah, so that NEC, I think that's the national, or what is it, Northeastern, what is it, Northeast Convention or something like that. Oh, I just wanted to go because I liked it. You know, I went to Reefapalooza Aquatic Experience. We're going this year. I think I mentioned it last live stream. We're definitely going in the Aquatic Experience. We already have a booth. We will be possibly attending Reefapalooza. I haven't decided yet, but yeah. Nick asked, do you do local pickups? I do, not at the house, but I will definitely meet you somewhere around my area and could, you know, pick up your plants that way. You just gotta tell me, or submit your order, tell me that you're picking it up, and then we'll make arrangements. I typically try and do it on either Friday, Saturday, just because those are the 2 days where I have time, so those work best for me. Alright, let's see, we got some questions now. Northeast Council, that's what it is. Okay, yeah. What's your favorite plants for a low-profile tank, like a 20 long? So I would do, if you're going to do like a 20 long, I wouldn't do any super tall plants, so I wouldn't do anything like valves. At least, like, I wouldn't do it, but I would do like crypts, because they relatively stay shorter. What else? Maybe some shorter growing stem plants, depending on what kind of light and if you're running CO2 or not. Like Rotella bonsai, at least for me, stays kind of short without trimming it often. Lobelia cardinalis is nice too. It doesn't get too big on me either. And what else? I would maybe do like a carpeting plant, like pygmy chainsword, dwarf sage, narrowleaf sage, broadleaf sage, stuff like that. There's also some smaller swords as well. Yeah. Even though my plants are anchored, my loaches still end up digging them up. How do I fix this small inconvenience? What I would do, wise old Nick, is your plant hasn't rooted yet probably, and that's why they're being ripped up. What I would do is I would take like rocks, like you could just get like regular river stone from either like Petco, or you could go to Home Depot, get like pebbles, and like bigger size ones, not like pea gravel size, but like ones that like you can put in there and you'll know where they are without them, like, you know, going all over the place, and just surround your plant that way, so they're kind of like anchored and wedged in between the rocks. After, you know, say a month or two, they'll become rooted, at least hopefully they will, and then you can remove the rocks and they'll be rooted and they're less likely to be ripped up, unless you have really aggressive diggers and they're big and they're moving stuff around. In that case, I would probably do something like, you could take like a glass like this, but maybe like a smaller one, maybe like a I wouldn't say like a shot glass, but something slightly bigger than a shot glass. I would pour substrate in that, and then I would like cap it with something, and then stick that in your existing substrate, and that way they wouldn't really be able to dig around the plant too much because there would be that glass lip around it. That's another way that you could possibly do it. I haven't tried that method, but I think it would work because I've seen people do it with goldfish, because the plant is in here and they can't quite get in there to dig out the substrate. It works well. So you could try that. Those are probably my best options for you. But yeah, let's see some more questions. By the way, for those joining us, I did mention earlier in the live stream, I'm just going to reiterate because now, you know, we jumped up a bunch more people. We are streaming on Twitch now. Back in the day, we used to stream on Twitch, Facebook, all those. We're also streaming on Instagram, which Joey just joined us on Instagram. What's up, Joey? Yeah, we check us out on Twitch. Also, if you prefer Twitch, it's there. It should be there. We're also on Periscope, but I don't know how to link that, or I don't know what the channel thing is. I don't know how to get to it. I honestly don't even remember the name, but we're on Periscope too. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, me miss you long time. I miss you too, Joey. I miss you too. Hopefully, are you coming out soon? I wonder if you have any trips to New York. Let's see. There's a bunch of questions piling up. Let's get to them. Justin, I am not as famous enough to get a shout out. Oh, King Ginger, you are. I'm sorry. I try and look at the Instagram chat as much as I can, but like we have way more people on YouTube, so it's hard to get to all the questions on Instagram. So if you want to join us, head on over to youtube.com/H2OPlants. Join us there. And Joey's coming here in June. Joey, we gotta link up again. I want to take a trip up to Joey's house sometime soon, but why can't I scroll on this thing? I can't scroll on that chat for some reason. I have like a separate chat pop out, so I'm gonna just bring this over here and I'll have the YouTube chat here. So yeah, so maybe one day I'll get out to Joey's place to do some videos. I'll go to YouTube. Aw, Joey. Alright, would plants survive winter that is like a grass or something like that? Well, I mean, what do you mean? Would plants... what plants would survive winter that is like a grass or something like that? You mean for outside? Are you talking about for outside? Because, I mean, I'm not a plant expert. I know a lot about aquarium plants, and I know a lot about house plants, but I'm not sure. Will shipping be cheaper for me since I'm just above you in New York? No, unfortunately, we do a flat rate shipping, and that's just because it covers like all the miscellaneous things that go into packing orders. So it's just flat rate, $9.50. It covers everything pretty much. The only thing that you may have to pay for is a heat pack if you need it, which if you're in New York, I would say you probably do because it's still cold here. Or it's free over $80. So if you place an $80 order, it's free, and there you go. And that's pretty much the standard. Not too many places do it based on where you are and weight. It's just too difficult to really... I mean, I have, I think, 300 items on the website. To sit there and weigh each one of them and figure out what they are is just, it'd be a technical nightmare. It is something that I want to do in the future. It's just sitting down and actually doing it, like weighing each thing to know how much it's going to be, so that way I can figure out what box it'll fit in based on shipping. So, yeah. What's your opinion on an Italian Val? It's actually one of my favorite Vals. Rem, I have Ruby Red Jungle Val, an Italian Val, and Contortion Val. Those are the three Vals that I carry the most of. There's regular Jungle Val. I don't quite like it because it's not... Everybody says it's hardy. For some reason, it does not do well for me. When I get it in, it goes through a huge melt back. And that really sucks because like it has to sit in the tank, transition for a long enough time, and then it just takes forever to get out to people. So Italian Val and Jungle Val, Ruby Red Jungle Val, virtually no melt whatsoever. Those are like good to go right out the gate. So, what is the best moss to use for a shrimp tank with cholla wood? Any moss really. I mean, Christmas and Java moss. I see Johnny mention those are good ones right off the bat. But I mean, you got tons of it. We have mini Xmas moss. We have flame moss. We actually put in a bunch of tissue cultures this past week. I had ordered, well, some new ones came available from one of my suppliers. We got like nano moss, There was a couple other ones. So if you look on the website, go to hot new items. There's like a little tab on the left-hand side. You can check out, they're all tissue cultures, so you don't have to worry about snails, you don't have to worry about algae, so really good stuff. But you could do any moss. It's just based on like what your environment is that you're keeping them in. You don't want to get anything that's going to be too difficult. Also, Subwasker Tang is really good, but it's not, I wouldn't say put it on cholla wood, but it's really good for shrimp tanks in general. So let's see. My Amazon sword main leaves are becoming transparent, and it's still growing little sprouts on the runners. What's wrong with it? Randa, is it like completely transparent, or is it just like a shade of green and transparent? Because Amazon swords actually do have a somewhat transparent leaf, like not completely see-through, but like if you had a leaf and you shined a light through it, you'll be able to see like the light shining through it really good. So I thought my fish were uprooting my plants. Turns out it's the 1,000 trumpet snails in my tank. Really? I mean, I have trumpet snails. Then again, I guess there's not really too many plants to uproot. There's a lot of Anubis, but I have them in there. And, yeah, they don't really uproot my plants. But then again, I don't have a ton of plants in the tank that they're in, so... I like trumpet snails, though. They do a good job. 6-week-old ADA tank, pH stable at 6.6, but my GH and KH completely wiped to 0. What to do? Will I see GH and KH again? Will CO2 introduction crush my pH at this point with 0 KH? It may bring it down, but as Kevin said, put some GH booster and you'll be good. Great idea. My dojos are about 6 inches, so they're pretty strong. Yeah, I would try the glass method then. Travis says, "Hey Justin, nice to see you. Was happy to hear back from you on Facebook." Yeah, I like answer all my messages, and I'm gonna say like asterisks almost all of them. I may somehow lose track of one, but I literally go through and answer every one of them. Sometimes if they're really basic stuff, either Amanda or Jake I'll forward them like an email and they'll answer it, or they'll sometimes log into Instagram, help me manage some of the questions. But for the most part, I answer, like, I would say 95% of all messages come in, or that come in either through Instagram, Facebook, or email. And I would say at least 99.9% of them get answered, whether it's me, Jake, or Amanda. So it just, sometimes it may take a day or two for us to get to you. There's a ton of them. I just ordered some plants. I'm basically a plant guru now, kind of a big deal. Call me Sir Scapes a lot. That's actually pretty... Yo, that's a good name. So if somebody doesn't have Sir Scapes a lot on Instagram, that would be, like, awesome. Escape off against me, Justin. Why is somebody from Yemen calling me? I just got a call from Yemen? What the hell? Why is my chat all screwed up on Instagram? What happened here? I don't know what happened. I like that name, Sir Scapes a lot. Anyway, I don't know what happened to my Instagram live stream. I'm gonna end it and bring it back up. Let's see. Boom. Okay. Ton more questions. Yeah, GH booster. Right, that monograss will survive, but it's marginal, not aquatic. Certain species. Yep, there's that. Can't afford the $80. I just won $15 from Instagram. Thank you so much, by the way. You're welcome. I mean, just pay for shipping that and order $15 worth of plants. By the way, if you didn't know, we're giving away tons of store credit on Instagram now. You can win it through codes that are in the description of every photo, and you could also win it by commenting on our pictures. I found Val doesn't need highlight, but it does need more light. Yeah, Val likes decent light. I mean, we have it in highlight though, and it just regular Jungle Val doesn't do good. Can you tell me a good website for live plants and driftwood? Our website, Clashing. Check it out, h2oplants.com. Support us. Sign up for a rewards program. There's 10% back on every purchase. You could leave reviews on products. If you've ever bought something from us, it would really help out if you leave some reviews on the products. Let us know how we did, whether it's negative or positive. Most of the time, when we see negative comments or negative reviews, I try and reach out to that person, find out exactly what happened, see if we can make it right. You know, even after the fact, I've had people that leave a review like 3 months after the fact, and like I'm like, hey, what happened? Like, you know, you never reached out. I'll, you know, tell me what happened. I'll help you out, and usually we would make it right. So, do you think you would be successful if you didn't have YouTube with your store? So I don't think YouTube is a huge part of it. I think it does help, but I wouldn't rest the sole success on it. Our Instagram and Facebook marketing strategy, I guess I will say, is pretty good. At least I think so. So a lot of our business is driven through that. YouTube is definitely helping to bring in people. It allows us, you know, because YouTube is a huge search engine. So I'm trying to do videos that would allow people to find us through search results. Obviously, because we don't have a super huge following where we could just upload random videos that we don't necessarily need to get exposure on through search results. So that's kind of our strategy on YouTube right now. And it does contribute. I would say it's probably anywhere between like 15 to 30% of the success, if you will, if I had to put a number to it. But I think we would still be pretty decent, because for the longest time I wasn't taking YouTube seriously. Now I am. Like, I felt bad about not uploading for a week straight, but like I literally, you know, I was in the hospital every day. I wasn't coming home. I slept there. My dogs, you know, I made sure somebody was taking care of the dogs and the tanks, and that was it. So like it was impossible to have my camera and stuff and film anything. So, and unfortunately I wait till the last minute to film videos, so yeah. Joey, I would do a escape off with you. Definitely would. Kevin and Justin versus me, myself, and I'll be down for that. My pond snails exploded, then died off, then MTS did the same thing. Now I see very little of both, with little algae visible. That is because you probably don't have enough food in the tank. You would probably have to feed more if you want them to do. Crowd vote. Only way I win any escape off. June, New York Reefapalooza. Try me. Well, Joey, we could do a booth. We could do a escape off if you want. Caleb asked, what light do I recommend? Well, there's a couple. It depends on the tank size, but if you're going for anything, if you have enough money, go with the Fluval 2.0. It's a good light. It's only like $160, and well, at least for like the biggest one. The smaller versions are cheaper. Those are great. I prefer them. They're what I use on every single tank. If you have more money to spend and you're doing a bigger tank, go with the SB reef lights. Those are really good. And yeah. VW Vance wants to know, how do you deal with cyanobacteria? So actually, before I answer this, we've been answering a ton of questions that come in from Instagram on our Instagram like stories. So you have the stories where it's not actual like posts, but they disappear after 24 hours. But now there's this new thing. If you go to our profile and you scroll like just a little bit down, there's these circular bubbles that you can click on. One says Q&A. So any Q&A questions that come in that I think would make good posts are saved there. So you could always go and reference questions that people have submitted. There might be that question there, which it actually is. I've had 2 people ask that question with cyanobacteria. Easiest method is, at least what I prefer, is ChemiClean. It's a simple product. It's like 15 bucks off Amazon. Order it, dose it for however long it says. It'll clear it right up. Kevin from Brooklyn Hardscapes actually likes to do blackouts for it as well. I just do the dosing and it clears right up. Sometimes it even goes away on its own. I've had it go away on its own. So, do Vital root tabs work well with Seachem Flourish XL? Yeah, well, Seachem Flourish XL is a type of CO2 substitute, which it really is not effective as CO2. It's good for algae control, but not CO2 supplement, honestly. But yeah, Vital tabs work great. You're basically adding nutrients right to the roots. That's their main purpose, and there's no substitution for root tabs, whether it's mine or something else. you'll just see so much better growth out of plants if you put root tabs in, as well as dosing fertilizer. But root tabs are like #1 thing. You always want to have a nutrient-rich substrate, and you want to always add in root tabs when your substrate is lacking nutrients. Hey Joey, any chance of doing different types of planta tanks? Iwagami, Dutch nature, so on? Yeah, Joey. How do you become a mod? By not asking. I don't understand the whole codes on Instagram thing. Can you explain how to do it, please? Jordy Girl wants to know. Basically on Instagram, now there is a section where I put super secret code, and then there will be, you know, it explains what it is, and then it says, you know, whatever, it's a couple characters. So we post, the way we do Instagram is we have 3 photos that go together. Usually they're about one tank, or they'll tell a story, or whatever it is, and those 3 photos fit together to create a bigger picture. Now if you look at each photo, that code, there's a code on each one. What you have to do is you have to put it in the correct order and enter it on the website. One earlier was, the one from our last 3 posts was $20 to the website. I think this one may be $15 or something like that. Another one may be free shipping. Another one may be, you know, 15% off, stuff like that. Maybe a free bottle of fertilizer. It all depends. So check out those codes. It's going to be first come, first serve, so there may be a limit to 1 or 3 or 4 per code, so it all depends. Somebody from Twitch, Hank, wants to know, who is Baby Nova? Baby Nova is my baby. She is about 40 days old at this point. She was in the hospital. We went over the story a bit earlier on, so if you want to check out the whole story, you can go back into the live stream. She is home now and safe, and everything should be good. Let's see. Everyone brings established and planned scapes, though. I can't do that from Canada. Also, Frank, I love Frank, his life. What? Oh. I have brown algae on a 30-gallon tank. I do use CO2, 40 bubbles per second, and 12 hours light. Now some plants are melting. I do 10% water changes daily. What can I do? Well, so you have brown algae, and now plants are melting. Were they melting when you had brown algae? Oh. Let's see. Do you think it's safe to de-rim a 10-gallon Aquarium tank to make it rimless? I've seen countless different opinions, and I'm not sure what to believe anymore. I've never done it, but I think so. How much iron do big swords need, you think, in a 36-gallon tank? It really, I mean, it depends on the type of sword. It depends on what other plants you have. Keep in mind, if you put iron in there, all the plants are going to use it. It's an essential building block to the plants. But just dose them based on what your plants are doing. So there's no, like, people have these methods of EI dosing where you put enough nutrients in there that all the plants will have enough. There's other ways, like other methods to do it. Overall, just figure out what your plant needs based on its look. There's charts out there, if you Google them, like aquatic plant deficiencies. There's charts that will show you exactly what something will look like if they are deficient in something. What happened to my daughter? She was sick. She's good now. You can go back in the video earlier after once it posts and see. I have CO2, now need plants for that 40-gallon tank. Oh. Well, we got plants. Fluval has a new plant line. People are calling it the 3.0, but it does not say that on the box. Yeah, from what I read, it doesn't have enough. It doesn't have the same amount of par as the 2.0, and to me, I'd much rather a good bright light than all the functionality that they're including in the 3.0. So I haven't tested it. I can't recommend it. I won't Please. Alright, hold on. We got audio back. 1 second, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to fix it. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Hit the wire. Hopefully I didn't lose anybody. My apologies. I'm just not going to touch the floor because the wire's on the floor and it messed everything up. Sorry. We're back. I don't know if it's gonna refresh. We're back. Sorry. Okay. We were on a roll there. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Mike Pizza, try multi-nutrient solid state root tab and add a new one. What's up, Jake? How's it going? Adrian says, Justin, could you do videos over different styles of escapes? I certainly can. Like, what do you mean, going over them? Great to hear she's doing okay. How you had her name Nova? It's also a car name. That's how it came from. That's not how it came. That's not how Nova was named after a car. It wasn't like that. Although Margaret really likes the Chevy Nova now, and she's like, "Oh, we should get one of those," because she didn't know it was a car. Anyway, thank you so much for the store credit for the Instagram post. You guys truly made my week. You're welcome. What is a safe substrate for both planted tanks and bottom dwellers, i.e. quarries and such? Well, you want to do anything that's not rigid. So I've heard Eco-Complete isn't good, which in my personal experience, I would say I'd probably agree with that because bottom dwellers never did well for me. But I see Kevin here recommends aqua soil and pool filter sand. Those are also good. And yeah. Okay. Joey's still here. The plants I ordered from you, 2 weeks ago and sat at the post office an extra day and pack was used up. My fault. The plants are... Oh, the heat pack was used up. Plants are putting out new shoots already and doing great. Couldn't be happier. Awesome, Dave. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. I mean, hey, shipping plants is a science all its own, let alone growing them. So it you know, it's possible that, you know, shipping mistakes happen. Although, knock on wood, we went from having tons of shipping issues as far as, like, you know, just plants either being frozen or being cooked by heat packs. And I think we've gotten down the science now of shipping a plant. I mean, it felt like every week I was replacing like 10 to 20 orders, like, or just like 10 to 20 plants from people because, like, they didn't arrive well, you know, the package got delayed or whatever. But now I think, like, we've worked out the really, like, the best way to do it. So I'm glad. I mean, with that said, I still did have like one from last week, but that's way different than having 10, you know. So I'm glad. And I don't think it's the weather change because it, like, I want to say probably since like January maybe, or yeah, it's been, I think, since they changed the postal rates, because we changed how we ship plants then. We we just got smarter with it, I think, and things have just been working out really good. So I couldn't be happier with that. Sorry, just saw where you answered earlier question. The Amazon sword is completely transparent on the edges, but the green and then towards the middle. So it's probably just losing older leaves, which is fine. That's kind of normal, Randa. If anything, you could shoot me a picture on Instagram or Facebook or through email, and I'll take a closer look at it. What's up, Maritza? What's going on? Yeah, just different styles and the idea behind them. Well, Adrian, we actually, if you haven't seen some of the little sneak peeks that I've done on YouTube, we did like a live stream where I walked around the fish room like 2 times. There's some changes coming up really soon. I'm really excited about it. We're gonna have 3 75-gallon tanks that are gonna be like actual aquascapes. So I'm losing the 55. The 55 is no longer going to be down here. Instead, that's going to 75. And then Lucky's tank is getting a 75. And then one of the other 40 gallons is upgrading to a 75. And each one of them is going to be a different aquascape. So we'll be able to kind of go over the technique and the idea behind those for sure. There's also going to be other tanks that are being put in. Actually, the tank right here, we actually, funny story, we were about to fill it the other day, me and Kevin, and then we realized that the stand was no good. The stand was actually bowing, and it's a rimless tank, so that's not good. So before we filled it, we were like, oh, hey, this probably isn't a good idea. So my friend Clark, actually, he's probably not watching, but if he is, shout out to Clark. He's building me all these wooden stands that I need for all these tanks and the show tanks that I'm going to be bringing to Aquatic Experience, and the 75-gallon racks he built, and also the other rack that we're putting back here, which is going to be, I haven't decided if we're going to do shrimp in it, but I think we may do shrimp, so it's going to be a shrimp rack. All sorts of good stuff coming up, so. I had a Nova, 3 on the tree, missed that sucker. What? No. I don't know. What's a good background plan for a 5-gallon tank? I would say go with like a tall crypt, like a crypt balance or crypt Lucians or Lutea. Those get tall. So King of DIY is banning people, dropping the ban hammer. The 3 on the tree is a pain to drive. What? Huh? What's going on with the Fluval Flex? Another rescape? Well, we did a video on the Fluval Flex. It is cloudy right now. That's for a completely different reason. What is going in that tank is actually coming in this week. Actually, it should be here tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be really cool. We ordered it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's going to be awesome. Yeah, Sandy, what did you order? What's your favorite fish? I'm doing a new art piece and need some ideas. I like the shell dwellers. Those are really cool. Like, they're the most interesting fish I've ever seen to watch. But I also like my sliced pearl danios. They're really cool. This guy says, I'm glad Nova is out of the hospital. Hope all is well. Thank you, Scotty. Yes, she's doing better, and yeah. Jenny says, are you smashing the 55-gallon? Maybe. Or we may blow it up. I haven't decided yet. There may be... Oh, that reminds me. If anybody lives in New Jersey and wants a 90-gallon tank, if you want to pick it up before Friday, meaning like if you want to pick it up tomorrow and you want it, it comes with the stand and it's free. Message me on Instagram. You have to come get it tomorrow though, because after tomorrow it's going out onto the street and it's going in the garbage because I have no room for a 90-gallon and I need to make room for other stuff. So unfortunately, I don't have the time to sell it, but I figured if anybody's out there watching wants a 90-gallon tank, let me know. Joey, get more goldfish. That would be cool. Joey actually, he doesn't have goldfish in the fish room yet, right? Joey, you definitely need some sort of carp. I think you're missing out on that, buddy. All my plants ordered have come in great. Many plants are growing so much. I was able to add portions to other tanks. Justin is the plant king. Thank you, Famous Jones. I appreciate it. I know you don't have to, but can you give me a sales pitch to subscribe to your monthly plant pack? Scotty, I don't know. My whole thing, I've actually been rethinking the plant pack a bit. I don't know if I'm going to continue it much longer, so I don't want to give you a whole sales pitch on it. The whole thing is, we have a decent amount of people subscribe to it, but it's not enough to make it worth it. At the end of the day, we're running a business. Something has to be profitable, and it's actually more of a headache than anything. With that said, if we magically got like 100 more subscribers to it, one, I don't know where we'd put all the plants yet, but with our future expansion ideas for the basement, we'll eventually have room for that. But then it would actually be like profitable. It would be worth us doing. So I actually haven't decided. As of right now, we're continuing it until I decide otherwise, but I don't know. Like, it's a really good value for you guys, because at the end of the day, it's actually, it almost costs me money. I think I maybe make $1 off like every order that goes out, and that's like after everybody's paid and everything. So I don't know. And even the people that got it for like the 3, 6 months, and a year packages that I first rolled out, you guys got a phenomenal deal, because I lose like $8 on every one of those. So if you want something that's really good value and take money out of my pocket, subscribe to it while it's available, because pretty soon it may not be. That's my sales pitch. Subscribe to something that's going to lose me money. But if enough of you subscribe to it, then it may be worth it. So there you go. Yeah. Where can I see the plants you have for sale? Well, actually, if you go to Instagram, I don't know if they're still going to be there, but we had a bunch of... Let me show you. So Instagram Stories is a good place to see a bunch of stuff. We're now doing plant guides on Instagram Stories. But we got a bunch of these plants in from the New Jersey Aquatic Plant Association, or Gardeners Association. They had a bunch of these left over from their auction. They reached out to me and they said, hey, do you want these? You know, give us some money for them and you can have them. And, you know, so I'm selling them like kind of on behalf of them, because it helps fund the club. But like, I mean, this just for instance is one thing. This is a bag of moss. And like, this is huge. Like, look at my hand. Right? So this is $40. We posted it up on Instagram Stories and Facebook. The majority of these are still available. And like, these are coming from hobbyists. Like, this is a huge mat of pearlweed. Like, this is huge. Normally, like, I would sell a small portion for I think $10 to $15, and like, there's like 8 portions in here. So there's a really good amount of plants. There's all sorts of different ones, everything from beginners to harder plants. Like, here's a ton of pennywort for $10. Like, so just a ton of things here, you know. And then at the end of the day, if you buy them, you know, like, the club is getting paid for them. I make a little money off of it, so it's a win-win. The club gets funded, and that's really, like, at the end of the day, even if I don't make money off of them, I like to contribute to the club. So me, you know, saying, yeah, I'll take the plants, helps them out, because it puts some money back into the club. And yeah, you know, it all works out. But as far as seeing what plants I have for sale, you can go to the website. All the photos on the website, for like 99% of them, I've taken from the plants that we have, what they are. I'm trying to get more pictures. Like, I want to put put each plant in like a tank and aquascape with it and show what it is, like, and how you would escape with it. Those will eventually come, but yeah. So you ever gonna do the dream tank with Joey? Well, Joey still needs to give me the other $500 then if he wants me to do it. And honestly, out of that super chat, I didn't see a lot of money from that, actually. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, like 5 weeks ago, Joey had donated $500 through a super chat well, it was supposed to be 1,000 to challenge me to do a super like fancy tank, and that was the day before Nova was being born. So obviously couldn't do it then. But like I looked at my thing and like the payout on it was really low, so I was like, what the hell is this? Is really weird. Like $500. I think I only saw like, I don't know, a small amount of that, unless I'm reading it wrong. I don't know. I honestly don't pay any attention to like what YouTube like pays out because it's pennies. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But the super chats, I think you're supposed to get like 80% of it or something. I don't know what it came out to be though. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Justin, do you have any idea, have any good ideas for how to make an all-in-one aquarium shrimp safe so they don't get in the filter? Yeah, Harry, actually, I did a video on this. If you go to our YouTube channel, I didn't do a full video on it. Maybe I'll do that on maybe I'll do that for tomorrow's video and show it a bit differently. But if you go back to our 55-gallon tank saga here that we've been doing, let's see, which video was it? That's not it. Where is it? Maybe it's been longer than January? Oh, if you go to our huge golden shrimp video here, I'll link it up. Here we show how to make the filter intake safe. How are all the shell dweller babies? The shell dweller, we lost all the babies, and if you checked out the most recent video that we did with a heater malfunction, I haven't seen any babies since then, but they're all doing much better, the rest of the shell dwellers, so I think we'll have more babies soon. So. Three on the tree is when the gear shifters is on the steering column. Oh, I've never heard of that. I want it, Joey says. No, don't get the play pack. The king is in the house. Yeah, he is. Solid pitch, man. Solid pitch. Yeah, I'm gonna buy some tissue cultures from you. You can't have them. As someone who works in sales, that was great. I'm sold. I'm just being honest. I mean, the plant pack cost me money, and it's like it's something that I like it because it I feel like it builds brand loyalty, and people like it. But it's like it makes zero money. If anything, it costs us money because. Here's the thing too. Most of the time, the plants that I have to order, I'm bringing in just specifically for it. So I'm paying shipping also on top of that just for those plants. So it's difficult, and we're limited on room. So I almost feel like if I use the room that I'm spending on the plant pack plants for other plants, I think I can make more money. But I don't know. Oh, creators get all the money from super chats. Oh, okay. So that's what. Yeah, I was looking at it. It was like $300 something. I'm like, wait, he sent 500. But then I ever think yours was in Canada dollars. So that's right. I want pennyworts too. Biomedia. What are your thoughts? I filled my hang-on back and the media is covered in it. Should I leave the media alone or clean it? No, you leave it. You leave all the media alone. Are holes in leaves a sign of potassium deficiency? I'm talking Sylvinia, Java fern, and Valsonarian. It's possible. There's, like I said earlier, there's a whole chart if you Google it, plant deficiencies. it'll show you all of the possibilities, and then you can compare your leafs to what the chart shows you, and that should be a good indication. How fast will dwarf water lettuce propagate? It's really fast once it gets established. It goes through like a bit of a like slow thing, and then all of a sudden it like grows out of control. What's the difference between Cripwindity bronze and brown? I'm not exactly sure. I think they might be the same plant, but oftentimes misidentified. It's possible. I mean, I've had Crip brown and bronze, and they look similar to me, so I'm not exactly sure. Downside was I was filming it for the reaction and challenge for my channel. I was going to send it everyone to you to sub. Damn, Joey, really? Are you trolling people now? But the reaction making fun of my money and the fact that it was bad timing ruined it. Aw, I'm sorry, Joey. I apologize. You see, but you can't do that because we're at this whole level where we like to troll each other a bit. So, like, I'm not going to have that, oh my god, reaction that that most people would have. Just because, like, you know what you should have done? Honestly, you should have done it under a separate account. Like a fake account. And that would have been, like, more shocking. Because then I would have been like, why the hell is somebody giving me $500? But, like, I felt like you were trolling me. So that's probably why my reaction was the way it was. I was like, is he trolling me right now? Why are you trolling me? But maybe for future people, do it under a different account. And then there you go. $500 lesson learned. I'll send it back if you want it. I told you, buddy, I'd give it back. I don't want it. Joey's money's too good for me. Take it back. Actually, with $390, I'm $9 away from buying PewDiePie's chair. $3.99. I know, Joey. I appreciate it either way. It was very nice of you. I'm sorry you didn't get the reaction you wanted. What's the best way to get mouse balls to grow faster? Best way to grow mouse balls faster is you really can't. You just gotta kind of leave them be. No need to send it back. It ended up being a gift for the baby and whatnot. Well, she appreciates it. It's gonna buy tons of diapers. We got the bill in from her birth. It was $5,000. That's crazy. I could only imagine what this other bill is gonna be. Luckily, we have health insurance, so it's covered. But yeah. Buy new ones. They take decades to grow in invisible manner. If you're talking about what is called mirror mouse balls, yeah. Mirror mouse balls take forever, like he said. I mean, they grow. Maybe not necessarily forever, but yeah. Welcome, David Lee. Welcome, or Lou. I don't know how that's pronounced. Yeah. I think that's all the questions. We got a couple people on Twitch. Thanks for following on Twitch. Joe, you need to get on Twitch. You should do it on Twitch. What is your favorite beginner plants? Crips, Anubis, Java Fern, they're all really good. Put a cover on the junction box behind you. I have to do all the electrical in here over again. We actually have to move the panel over to like over here. Right now it's over on this side of the room. So I could put it in the new rack that's going to be similar to the one behind me over here. So it's going to be a while. Birth charge. Yeah, birth charge. Got a bill for like $5,000. Adrian says, oh, I've got a million questions for you, Justin. Do you? Well, we're about out of time. I gotta go film tomorrow's video, then I gotta edit it, and then I gotta go to sleep, and so I got a bunch of things to do. So I'm gonna be wrapping this up here. I'll take like 2 more minutes to answer questions. So if you have questions, drop them in the comments below. How often should root tabs be added for swords? Every 3 to 6 months, depending on the like how big it is. If it's a huge one, I would add them a bit more often, maybe like every 2 to 4 months, just because they're going to be absorbing a lot more nutrients. But if they're rather small and they're not quite like their huge thing, then yeah. Film the shrimp safe filter video. Do I have some? Yeah, I guess I do have something to do it. Maybe I could use my stock footage from the last one. That's actually not a bad idea. I could use that, and I could do another one too. Maybe I'll do that for tomorrow's video. I actually haven't thought of a topic for tomorrow's video. Can I plug myself? No, you can't plug yourself. Kevin, you were supposed to be here tonight. What are some other videos? Actually, let's take this real quick to brainstorm some ideas. What other videos would you guys like to see, or topics for videos? As I look for, because I'm kind of running out of ideas a bit. And let me just grab. Why can't I get my slipper on? Okay, there we go. Okay, dry erase board. Let's see. Can plants grow in peat moss? I believe they can. I got a question. How come you guys don't seal aquariums? They are very expensive to buy and very cheap to make. I don't know what you mean. Thought children are born free? No. Propagating plants? What kind of plants in particular? Because I've done some videos on propagating Anubis. So what plants in particular? Top 5 floating plants? That's actually not a bad one. Top 5 floating plants. That we could do, definitely. Benefits of floating plants versus shadowing your planted plants. We'll classify that. We'll just... Oh, okay, yeah. Alright, so... floating plants. Pros. There's cons. We'll do that. That's a good one. How about a video about using liquid fertilizers? That one we have, famous. I mean, I could probably redo it, but I'll write that down. Best plants for certain kinds of aquariums. What kind of aquariums, though? Like, do you mean like goldfish and cichlids and stuff? All plants. Hold on, the Weiselnick. What was the original name? Weiselnick. Propagating plants. All plants. Well, I've done Anubis. So what other plants would you like? I need specifics. It really helps. What was the video that made the... oh, it's right here. I'll paste it. Boom. A 10-minute video of betta sleeping on a sword leaf. I actually don't have any betta fish, surprisingly. What about plants in pots? Plants in pots work, but when is CO2 not necessary? We could do a CO2 video. When to use. That's actually a common question that I get on Instagram, so that would definitely work. Videos on your different plant packages like you have on your website. Plant packages, we could do a video on that. What do you what do you want to see in that? Like going over all of them in one video, or should I do a single video for each one? Because we have the plant packages. We have, let's see, we have a beta, we have a cichlid, we have breeding, we have goldfish, we have regular mystery box, we have the stem plants, we have floating plants now, we have a floating plant mystery box too. How you run your plants? How I run the plants, it takes. Huh. Full CO2 setup. You see, I've toyed with this idea of sharing it. My problem is yeah, it's just there are some people in the community that will take the idea and make it and treat it as their own, and not give credit or anything for it, and those people don't like me, so I don't think I want to help them out with that. And the CO2 system I have here cost me a couple $100 to put together and figure out. So I haven't decided if I want to release it. I have all the footage for it. I don't know. It's a very, very tricky situation with that. How to measure how much I think needs CO2, too little or too much. I'm running out of whiteboard space. Like, best plants that are good to grow in a 40 breeder and best plants to grow in a 20 long, like that. I could do that. I could do like a top 5 plants for this. How about a CO2 equipment? Don't share it, Justin. See, Kevin knows. Kevin knows that that is a pretty legit system. So it's one of those like company secrets. I've like briefly shown it in videos, but it's like one of those, the inner workings of it are like, they're not like, it's not like rocket scientry, but it's like, is scientry even a word? Science? Rocket science? That's the word I'm looking for. Rocket science. But there's a whole curve to that many people are always asking about, and I don't know if I want to share all of that. So how about a prep growing plants in sand, at least those that will grow in sand. CO2 for beginners. I'm gonna have to make some little things. CO2 for beginners. Best lighting to use for different types of plants. Top 5 favorite tank sizes. Growing in sand. These are all good ones. Growing in sand. Top 5 planted tank sizes. Best lighting for different tanks and why. Do a video on how to grow a beard. I'm 22 and don't facial hair. Adrian, patience. That's all it takes. You just gotta let it grow. You're gonna go through many awkward phases with it. Liquid CO2, pros and cons. That's a video that I want to do with Kevin, because Kevin has the whole thing, but on that, but then again, we don't want to get in the bad graces of some of the big companies. DIY CO2. How about why the addiction of CO2 can change the health and appearance, or the addition, not addiction. I heard CO2 is not good for blue rams. Best bulb plants. When is algae a good thing? Algae? Damn, you guys are coming up with a ton of topics. Why couldn't I think of these? That's right, because you guys are so much smarter than I am. Look at that. I literally draw like a mental blank when I'm like, what should my next video be? I'm running out of shit to do. Alright, so we got some ideas here. I think I got tomorrow's video idea in mind. Something about bleaching plants wouldn't be bad in my opinion. You see, so we include instructions on how to bleach plants because sometimes we get that question, so it's always in our orders. But I specifically say, like, I don't do this, but if you want to do it, here's how to do it. Just because, like, I feel like I should just give the info, make it easy for people. Plants that go well together. Kevin, make sure you're taking some of these ideas because these could be future live streams that we do too. Plants that go together. That's a good one. That could actually be a whole live stream all itself. How to find a girlfriend that will love you and your planted tanks. It's easy. Find the girlfriend first and then just bring home planted tanks. Do more joint videos with other YouTubers? I mean, I would. A lot of them, I don't know. There's a whole... I'm always open to helping people out, whether they're bigger or smaller than I am. But I don't know. There comes down to a lot of different things. Videos on local fish store tours. I want to do that too. I just haven't had time. Carnivorous plants, biotopes, plants for various biotopes. That's maybe a live stream me and Kevin can do. I'm gonna steal them from my channel. Damn you, Kevin. Sponge filters versus canister filters. Collecting seeds from aquatic plants. Ugh, I've never done it. The link for... It didn't work? The link for the shrimp video? Oh, you know what? I know why it didn't work. You're right. I'm sorry. Kevin is Brooklyn Hardscape. He is, he's normally here on Wednesdays or every other Wednesday. Just, there's a snowstorm going on, so he's not here right now. But he should be here next week. Hopefully. There's the shrimp video. Thoughts on ECS's reticles for... What? Should you be using activated carbon? That's actually a good one too, carbon. Maybe I'll do that for tomorrow's video. A refugium, well those are really only for saltwater tanks. I mean, you wouldn't really use that for freshwater. Your opinion on the best substrate for plants. Have I done that? I don't know if I've done that. I feel like I've done some videos on substrates. A substrate video. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. Aquatic plants that will make flowers. The problem with that, the plants that make flowers will go dormant or die after they do. That's kind of the end of their life cycle. I don't know of any that don't die back. I haven't done tons of research, so that's really why I don't know. I'm sure there may be some, but I haven't done a lot of research to figure out if there are plants that will continuously grow, like even after they flower, or if it'll hinder growth. And it's for immersed growth in like a terrarium setup. We've been wanting to do a terrarium. That's an idea. Terrarium plants. Alright. I think we got a ton of ideas here. Rose over there making her bed. Alright, so I think we're gonna video on best flowering plants. I'll write that down just so that way it's there. I don't know if we're gonna do a video on that. I don't know if people will want that, but if they do, I'll definitely do it. We'll see. Bog plants. You used to speak on nano setups in different glass vases and weird items. Is that a dog back there? It is. Blackwater plants. How to crossbreed plants. Supposed to come over and do a video on my cloches later in the spring. Cloches? Cloches. Blackwater plants. Yeah, the vases I'm actually going to be, I think, taking down because I haven't had enough time to really maintain them. So I think I'm going to take them down because we're going to be doing a bunch of rimless tanks where the planted vases are now. So I want to clear out space for those. Are you going to have Blixa Japonica again? If you need Blixa, message me. I just got a ton of it in from the Gardeners Association, but I'm keeping some of them for myself because I want to grow a ton of it. So, alright guys, well we're 19 minutes over. I have to go film one of these videos. I mean, I got a ton of ideas, so thank you for all those. I think I know what I'm going to do first. And we'll go from there. Plants that can be used for turtle tanks. I don't know if any plants can really be used for that many turtles. I think there's a couple that may not eat plants, but I think the majority of them do. So, we'll I'll see. I'll have to do some research on that. But all right, guys. I'll see you next Sunday. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you're on Twitch, hit that follow button, or head on over to Twitch and follow us there, twitch.tv/H2OPlants. You can find us there. And, yeah. Thank you for all the well wishes. Thank you, guys. I will see you on the next one.